There is some good news this week from the federal chairman, Mr. Powell. He has a plan to make homes more affordable, but there is also some bad news. He's also making mortgage rates higher. He also wants higher unemployment via job cuts, and he wants to lower your pay. Say what? That's what I thought. So on this video, I'm going to cover 2 articles about the situation and make sure you stay to the end for my plan to build more affordable homes without job cuts and without lowering what you make. So let's get after it right now. Welcome to the Living in Utah channel. I'm Mike Gallagher. I'm a local real estate agent right here in the local area. And if you want to learn more about the state of Utah, you may consider tapping that subscribe button down below and hitting that bell notification. And you'll receive an alert every time I release a new video. And honestly, we help people from all over the country buy or sell real estate right here in the local area. So if I can be of any assistance, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. 7 days a week, we got your back with real estate in the U state. As we get started, how does Mr. Powell plan to lose jobs and create higher unemployment and reduce wages and make homes more affordable? And also, if you don't have a job, how do you qualify to purchase a home? And if the interest rates rise, will you be able to afford the payments? Maybe you own your own home now and you lose your job. Well, you may lose your home. So on the first article, Chairman Powell said that the housing market needs to go through a correction. The article states, when the Federal Reserve announced it was raising interest rates last week, Chairman Powell said the housing market needs to go through a correction. And I agree with the man. During the pandemic, pricing went really high. I think it went a little too high, in my opinion. Powell said home prices rose to an unsustainable fast level during the pandemic, as he expressed hope that a housing market correction will make prices affordable again. But then it goes on to say, when interest rates rise, it becomes more expensive to borrow money. Among other things, this means that mortgage rates are rising and buyers are finding that purchasing a home is the opposite of affordable. It also goes on to state that the real estate market has been cooling down for months. It has cooled down in the state of Utah. It has cooled down across the country. The article continues and says that Mr. Powell is referring to some price pullback for homes, but that it's unclear how much of a drop in prices he's telling us could be on the horizon. It is, however, important to distinguish between a correction and a crash. Housing correction in the near future, they're describing a much smaller decline than what we saw in the Great Recession, when home prices fell by more than 30%. Housing experts are talking about the possibility of a single-digit percentage decline in home prices in the next year, while the more bearish forecasts are in the ballpark of 10 to 20% decline. Right now in the state of Utah, in northern Utah, we've already seen about an 8, 9, 10% decrease in price. In southern Utah, that number has been larger. Now, I agree with the man that we do need a correction in the price of homes, but I do not agree with the method that he plans on using to achieve lower home prices. So it's great that people want affordable homes, and I totally agree with that. I think the prices went too high. Mr. Powell's process to obtain these affordable homes is with higher interest rates, higher unemployment, and lower wages. It's not the avenue I think that we should be taking. There's another article on why the Fed is pushing unemployment rates higher. And it starts out by saying that it is impossible for the central bank to beat inflation without hundreds of thousands of Americans losing their jobs. Expect the unemployment rate to rise to 4.4% next year, up from 3.7% in August. Experts say such an increase in the jobless rate over the course of a year would likely push more than 1 million workers out of their current jobs and leave millions more unable to find better work or higher wages. And it goes on to say, nonetheless, we need to complete this task. The article continues and it says that higher unemployment isn't just a side effect of the Fed's plans, it's a goal. It's their goal for higher unemployment. Powell and scores of other economists believe the U.S. job market is too strong to allow inflation to fall. The combination of super low unemployment and record high job openings have fueled rapid wage growth. Do you think your wages are too high? Let me know in the comments down below. Powell has argued for months that the Fed must bring the labor market into balance before inflation could fall back to normal levels. But that means putting people out of work and leaving them with fewer opportunities to find jobs. It's going to be extremely painful for those families who are going to be hit with a double whammy. Not only are prices continuing to go up at this very high inflation rate, but they might lose their jobs as well. Those unemployed are not only going to miss out on a job for a year, these workers will likely see depressed employment and incomes for decades. So they anticipate that the unemployment numbers and the lower wages may continue for a long time. Experts say that pain will come first as a general decline in wage growth, with earnings likely falling further behind prices. Then companies will likely be forced to pull back open jobs before some eventually face the need to cut hours or staff as sales fall in a weaker economy. So Mr. Powell, the chairman, would like to see affordable homes, and I totally agree with him. I would like to see affordable homes also. But in order to do it, Mr. Powell would like to raise the interest rates, raise the mortgage rates, raise the unemployment rate, and lower your wages. By the way, do you think that Mr. Powell will be taking a pay cut? I don't think so. Let me know in the comments down below if you think he will be taking a pay cut. How are we going to solve the affordable housing crisis without raising interest rates, without lowering your pay, and without increasing the unemployment? I would say that the largest segment that needs some assistance will be the first-time home buyers. If you're in an existing home now and you're looking at moving up to a larger home or a newer home, most people currently in a home have some sort of equity in their home, and they can make the decision, hey, we can afford the upgraded home or we can't. They have options. You can always stay in their current home, pay down more on the loan, and then in the future, relook at the situation a little further down the road. Your first-time home buyers do not have that opportunity. First-time home buyers are also competing against Wall Street money, large investment firms that are buying up large amounts of entry-level properties all over the country. And usually you won't find that these big companies are buying up the million-dollar homes. They're usually purchasing the starter homes, turning them into rentals. So what can be done? First on my list, the government owns a lot of land. We can use that land, and it comes at an affordable price. And we can build on that property. You can also use state-owned property, city-owned property, county-owned property. There's lots of it around the country. Once we have the land, we need to negotiate with some of the national suppliers, create like a federal government or a state government account that gets bulk discount pricing. After all, building these homes would send millions, maybe billions of dollars to these companies. Companies like Lowe's and Home Depot and glass companies and concrete companies and roofing companies. Then we need to get the cities, the counties, the states, the federal government to embrace condo and townhome development, which might require some changes. After all, if you're starting out, most of the time you don't need, say, a 4,000 or 5,000 square foot home. A nice condo would do nicely with a low payment. You could build equity and you could upgrade down the road. But in order to do this, we need to change some legislation on a local level, maybe even on a national level. We need an aha moment. American homes affordable. And of course, the local cities and the counties will probably think, well, what's in it for me? Well, there's a lot of incentive for the local areas to do this. Say they purchase a piece of land, like an old department store or an abandoned factory. Let's say you can put 100 condos on that property, or maybe 50 condos on that property. The land right now is probably only collecting maybe a few $1,000s in property taxes. You put 100 condos on that land, it'll collect $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 per year in property taxes for many years to come. So as I start to wrap this up in conclusion, well, that's my plan for some affordable housing in the United States. I had one of those aha moments. American homes affordable. I do not think we need to raise mortgage rates, raise unemployment, lower wages to bring home prices down. I think we need more first-time home buyer properties on the market at an affordable price. That's my plan. I'd love to know in the comments down below, what is your plan for affordable homes in the United States? Until the next video, take care and stay safe.